The global business community used to predict that with the epidemic restrictions being lifted in China, the global supply chain would return to normal, and countries like Vietnam, India, or Mexico would lose their appeal. At present, shipping prices have plummeted over the past year, COVID restrictions were removed, and Chinese manufacturers across all sectors are aggressively soliciting business through deep discounts. But the global supply chain isn't returning to what it was like before. There's no going back. More multinationals and investment groups are fleeing China. On November 17, 2023, China's leading financial blogger, professional investor, and Weibo user with the handle name Financial Little Fox posted, "Major signal, Walmart withdraws from China and moves its procurement center to Vietnam. Another giant is turning away from China. After BlackRock and the Vanguard Group, Walmart has also chosen to say goodbye to China. In this cold winter, should we prepare ourselves in advance?" When the news came out, it rocked the market. The news quickly sparked a lot of buzz in and out of China. According to the Post, Walmart, once a dominant player in the Chinese market, has chosen to move its sourcing center to Vietnam. This not only signifies its strategic shift, but also heralds a change in China's retail industry. The article writes, "With the acceleration of globalization, international giants have adjusted their strategies to find new development opportunities. This is the exact reality we are facing." Chinese netizens have mixed responses. A relatively large number of people believe that this phenomena has occurred too often and is no longer surprising. They said, "They can't compete with domestic companies in China. It's not that China's economy is failing, it's that they are failing in China. Walmart can't compete with the local supermarkets, so it's inevitable that they will quit. Within 1 kilometer of where I am, there are 4 supermarkets: Walmart, Yonghui Superstores, Better Life Hypermarket, and a local supermarket. It basically produces its own vegetables with a thriving business, while the other 3 chain stores are empty, and some might be folding soon. Unless e-commerce is banned, there will be fewer and fewer physical stores." One made a sarcastic statement, "We have the internal circulation. We don't need these countries to contribute to the economy, and we should keep in mind that our line and goal is always North Korean style. It isn't a Western capitalist camp. It's just a retail business. If it leaves, so be it. China has no shortage of such businesses. If it leaves, another business will immediately take its place." One asked curiously, "Explain to me why Walmart's high-end brand Sam's Club is still doing well." People with more clear thinking warned. After reading the comments, it seems that the general understanding is rather shallow. They think that Walmart is just a supermarket next to their homes. Please note that it's the procurement center leaving China. It not only supplies the Chinese supermarkets, but also serves Walmart's global supermarkets. Currently, there are no further sources of information to confirm the above news from Weibo. We checked with the Vietnam's national news agency that since August 2023, Vietnam News Agency has been continuously reporting on Walmart. In October this year, Vietnam News Agency reported that a representative of Walmart revealed that the company will send procurement staff to Vietnam in 2024, connecting with various manufacturers and looking for suppliers in Vietnam. The report said that according to Walmart's senior executives of supply development in Asia, Vietnam would become the group's main outsourcing production base in Southeast Asia and the Asian region. Recently, Vietnam's Minister of Industry and Trade met with Walmart's Executive Vice President of Procurement on the afternoon of November 14th to discuss measures to develop Walmart's supply chain in Vietnam and support Vietnamese suppliers to participate in Walmart's global chain. The Walmart executive said that Vietnam is currently one of the top 5 countries exporting the most goods to Walmart's global system. Vietnamese goods not only enter the Walmart system in the US, but also other major markets such as China, Canada, and Mexico. Walmart's future strategy includes a focus on building Vietnam into a regional supply center in Asia. She said, "At present, Walmart purchases billions of dollars of goods from Vietnam every year, but still focuses mainly on categories such as textiles, footwear, food, etc. In the future, Walmart will focus on expanding its business by purchasing goods including home furnishings, electrical appliances, electronic equipment, and various types of toys. Vietnam's Minister of Industry and Trade invited Walmart Group to send a sourcing delegation to Vietnam to participate in the Vietnam International Commodity Supply Chain Matchmaking event scheduled for June 2024. Walmart leaders accepted the invitation and proposed to provide the training for the development of Vietnamese suppliers within the framework of this event, so that they can effectively participate in the Walmart marketplace and thus enter the global Walmart system. Walmart is the #1 retailer in the US and sources most of its stuff from China. Its global sourcing office was established in Shenzhen in 2002. If it really withdraws from China and relocates to Vietnam, it will have a big impact on China's manufacturing exports. On Chinese social website Jihu, someone offered 3 reasons for Walmart's procurement center moving to Vietnam. First, the rising cost of purchasing products from Chinese enterprises. It has led to a rise in the price and a decline in profits. Second, the decline in product quality of Chinese enterprises. It results in a decline in the quality of goods, bringing risk to the operation of supermarkets. Third, in the future, products made in China will be replaced by low-cost Vietnamese products. It means China will lose the Walmart supply chain market. Posts on Chinese social media platforms have shown that more and more Vietnamese-made products are seen overseas.
现在日本的衣服基本都是
Now, Japanese clothes are all made in Vietnam or made in India. I remember a few years ago it was all made in China.
Made in China, 中国制造.
Now, let's briefly review Walmart's rapid expansion and quiet exit from China. Walmart entered China in 1996. At the beginning, Walmart used the low-price strategy and expanded rapidly. A story reported by a U.S. media outlet at the time was that Walmart built a procurement center in the emerging coastal city of Shenzhen. Walmart summoned hundreds of representatives from neighboring factories to the center. Those people waited for hours, sitting on wooden chairs and drinking tea from disposable plastic cups. Walmart was able to get the lowest prices because if one factory hesitated, Walmart could call in a representative from another factory from the same waiting room. China joined the WTO in 2001. 2 years later, Walmart had spent $15 billion on products made in China, almost 1/8 of China's total exports to the US. According to one analysis, a decade later, Walmart's imports from China were worth $49 billion. Another study found that from 2004 through 2015, Chinese goods depressed US prices by 0.19% per year. This kind of sourcing, while bringing cheap goods to countries including the US, has also made the national businesses suffer. For example, some once thriving US factory towns have fallen into a state of unemployment and despair, with former restaurants and hardware stores replaced by food banks and pawn stores. The New York Times reports that according to a paper published by 2 economists, the surge in cheap Chinese imports led to the loss of nearly 1 million jobs in U.S. manufacturing from 1999 to 2011, resulting in a loss of 2 million jobs in the larger economy. At the same time, the Chinese government used its huge trade surplus to expand its power in all areas, including political coercion and military power. However, since 2016, when Trump became president, everything changed. China's national strength began to change dramatically that year. Between 2016 and 2020, Walmart closed a total of about 80 stores in China. In 2021, it closed another 30 or so supermarkets, and in 2022, Walmart closed another 21 stores. When explaining reasons for store closures, Walmart largely attributed it to the expiration of the lease. The question is, when the lease became due, why didn't Walmart choose to renew the lease but to close down? Since 2023, Walmart closed more stores such as the ones in Shanxi Province in the north and Jiangxi Province in the south. Let me show you Walmart today. Changchun Walmart is said to be closing. I have so many memories here. It's a bit of a shame that the store is going to be closed. It's quite crowded right now. Actually, I like Walmart. It's nice here. A lot of things are on sale. Clothes, electrical appliances. It's a shame. Down jackets are sold for 100 yuan or $14. Let's check it out. On March 7, 2023, Walmart store on Zhenghua Street in Beijing also ceased operations. The store was opened nearly 17 years ago in 2006. It was located in a prime location and was the only large supermarket in a high-end business district in Beijing. There are still 5 Walmart stores and 4 Sam's Club stores in Beijing. An employee who has worked at Walmart China for nearly a decade told the media that in order to deal with the store closures in a unified manner, Walmart even set up a cross-departmental team at one point in order to collaborate on resolving a variety of issues such as leasing contracts, employee contracts, and store operations. According to the statistics of Linkshop.com, in addition to Walmart, another international retail giant, Carrefour, closed more than 680 stores in 2022. The wave of store closures has been happening after the epidemic. Domestic stores face the same situation. Carrefour exited the Chinese market outright in 2018, selling all its stores as a package deal to Sunning, China's largest commercial retailer. Moreover, there is no doubt that China's fast-rising e-commerce is battering traditional stores. Chinese people are shifting their shopping from offline to online. The rise of domestic e-commerce players such as Alibaba, Jingdong, and Pinduoduo is rapidly transforming mainland China's large-scale retail market, especially for cheap goods. At the higher end of the market, Chinese consumers with deeper pockets are looking for brands and quality. As a result, while Walmart is closing traditional supermarkets, it's accelerating the rollout of Sam's Club stores. Sam's Club stores are Walmart's high-end membership stores. In 2022, a record 6 new Sam's Club stores opened in China. Walmart's financial report showed that China's net sales grew by 13.5% in the fourth quarter of 2022, mostly thanks to Sam's Club stores as well as contributions from its e-commerce. Net sales from e-commerce accounted for 48% of the total, up a whopping 70%. Now, let's examine the news that Walmart's procurement center is moving to Vietnam. The global trade landscape changed in February 2022. A once-in-a-century pandemic had turned the shipping industry upside down. For North Americans, the shipping costs across the Pacific Ocean soared, and ports were crippled by maritime traffic jams. It was a clear sign that it was dangerous to rely on a distant country for critical supplies. Early in the same year, when Walmart needed more than 50,000 corporate uniforms valued at $1 million, it turned to the Mexican apparel company Preslo instead of its regular suppliers in China. "Help me," it said to the company. The New York Times reported that it usually took a month to ship a container full of goods from China to the U.S. During the worst of the epidemic, the time doubled or even tripled. However, factories in Mexico and retailers in the U.S. can connect within 2 weeks. A Walmart representative said Walmart's interest in Mexico was to make its supply chain less vulnerable to regional problems. Prior to that, the Trump administration imposed high tariffs on Chinese imports. President Biden later continued this policy while adding measures to block China's access to technology. So changes in global manufacturing and supply chains are still undergoing a big change. The U.S. is rewriting trade rules. Along with other economic changes, the share of Chinese products in U.S. imports has been declining, replaced by products from countries such as Vietnam and Mexico. The countries that will be able to take a piece of China's market share are those that are already adept at producing tariff-affected products such as electronics or chemicals, as well as countries that are already deeply integrated into China's supply chain and have significant trade with China. They include Vietnam and Mexico, as well as Taiwan. They are also increasing their imports from China of the kind of products that they export to the U.S. It should be noted that many products made in countries such as Vietnam still contain significant amounts of parts and materials made in China. After going through a more complicated process, the goods that reach North American consumers should be more expensive than those that come directly from China. The general trend is that multinational companies need reliable supply chains. So, pulling out of China is an inevitable trend right now. At the beginning of our episode, Weibo user Financial Little Fox embedded a news article to support his conclusion that international giants are adjusting their strategies and looking for new growth opportunities. This is the exact reality we are facing. According to a source from the Financial Times, asset management firm Blackstone is selling its logistics asset portfolio in China for a total of more than $10 billion, or more than US $1.4 billion. It is said to have an interested buyer already. Relevant information shows that the planned sell-off contains a total of 11 logistic park projects located in 11 cities. The area covers the Pearl River Delta, the Yangtze River Delta, as well as Chengdu and Sichuan Province, etc. Several Chinese media outlets have already reported the Blackstone story. Some analysts have pointed out that normally an investment company may be quick in and quick out for small projects. But for a relatively large deal, things are different. Take Longdi Guangzhou Airport Logistics Park as an example. Its purchase price was as high as RMB 8.2 billion or US 1.15 billion, and Blackstone just finished its acquisition less than 2 years ago. Usually, a long-term investment wouldn't be switching hands in such a short period of time. On November 15, 2023, after the meeting with President Joe Biden, CCP leader Xi Jinping had dinner with top U.S. business executives. Many corporate giants attended, including Apple CEO Tim Cook, Tesla CEO Elon Musk, and Blackstone CEO Steve Schwarzman. Organized by the National Committee on U.S.-China Relations and the U.S.-China Business Council, the dinner cost $2,000 to attend and $40,000 to share a table with Xi. When Xi Jinping entered the room and delivered his speech, the 400 guests gave him a standing ovation 3 times.
历史长河大浪淘沙
No matter how the global landscape evolves, the historical logic of peaceful coexistence between China and the US will not change. The ultimate wish of our two peoples for exchanges and cooperation will not change. The expectations of the whole world for steady development of China-US relations will not change. For any great cause to succeed, it must take root in the people, gain strength from the people, and be accomplished by the people. Growing China-US friendship is such a great cause. Let us galvanize the Chinese and American peoples into a strong force to renew China-US friendship, advance China-US relations, and make even greater contributions to world peace and development. Thank you.
努力为促进世界和平和发展做出更大贡献。谢谢大家。
Although Xi Jinping has softened his attitude and appealed to American companies, these corporate giants are still selling off their assets in China. When their interests are at stake, their retreat from China is unlikely to stop.